You know how much we all love to travel, right? Like
Mm,
exploring new places, new cultures.
absolutely.
But sometimes that
Yeah.
language barrier can be a little bit intimidating.
Totally. Totally.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into practical English for travelers.
Ooh, I like it.
So we can equip you guys with the phrases and the tips you need to navigate those common situations you find yourself in.
Like when you're at the airport or trying to find your hotel or asking for directions.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's say you're at the airport, you've just landed in this exciting new country,
Okay.
and you need to get to your hotel. What are some of the things you might
Yeah.
need to say?
Well, first off, if you're grabbing a taxi, you want to make sure the driver knows where you're going.
Right.
So something like, please take me to, and then the name of your hotel.
Okay, simple.
Simple and straightforward.
But what if it's somewhere that's a little bit off the beaten path? How do you give more detailed directions?
You could try saying it's near and then mention a landmark or a well-known street name.
Uh, yeah,
Or if you have it on your phone, you can show them a map and say, could you follow these directions?
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the fare, how do you make sure you're both on the same page?
Before you start the trip, it's always a good idea to ask, how much will this cost to get to? And then the hotel name.
So there are no surprises later.
Exactly. And speaking of money, tipping is another thing to be aware of. Customs vary so much around the world.
Hmm.
It's really worth doing a little research beforehand so you know what's expected.
Oh, that's a good tip. Good tip. All right, so you've made it to the hotel. You're ready to check in. What are those essential phrases you're going to need at the reception desk?
Well, the first thing is, hello, I have a reservation under, and then give your name.
Okay.
And then easy.
Easy peasy.
But what if you have a special request, like you want a room with a view or you really need a quiet room?
You can definitely ask something like, if possible, I prefer a room with, and then state your request.
Yeah.
Or could you check if there are any rooms with, and again, what you're looking for. And being polite always helps, right?
Oh, absolutely. A little courtesy goes a long way, especially when you're dealing with people who are there to help you.
Okay, now let's say you're in your room, you've settled in,
Yeah.
and you realize, oh, I need an extra pillow, or I need a blanket. How do you get those things?
You can call down to the reception and say, excuse me, could I please have whatever it is brought to my room?
You know, it's amazing how a few basic phrases can really make you feel so much more comfortable
Right. It gives you that confidence
in a new environment.
to handle all those little things that come up.
All right, so we've got the airport, we've got the hotel, but what about venturing out and actually exploring this new city? Let's dive into that after a quick break.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so we've tackled getting to the hotel. Now let's talk about exploring
Yes,
all the amazing things this new city has to offer.
the fun part.
Exactly, the fun part.
Yeah.
So let's say you find a cute little cafe, you're hungry. How do you let them know you want a table?
Easy. Table for one or table for two or just, may I have a table, please?
Perfect. What about if they ask if you have a reservation?
Yeah. Some places, especially popular spots, it's good to check that beforehand.
Right.
But if they do ask, just say, I don't have a reservation, or do you have any tables available?
Okay, so you're seated, you've got the menu, but it's all in, let's say, Italian, and you don't speak Italian.
Don't panic.
What do you do?
Just ask, excuse me, do you have an English menu, or could you help me with the menu, please?
Okay, that makes sense.
Most places are happy to help.
Now, while you're waiting for your food, it's always nice to have a little chat, right?
Oh, definitely. It's a great way to connect with people.
So what are some good conversation starters?
You could try complimenting something, like, this place is lovely, or ask for recommendations. What dish would you recommend?
Nice, simple, and friendly.
Exactly. Then when you're ready to order,
Yeah.
you can get the server's attention with a polite, excuse me, and then tell them what you want. I'll have, and then the name of the dish.
Okay, and what if you have, like, dietary needs?
Oh, that's important. Just let them know I'm vegetarian or I'm allergic to and whatever it is.
So you can enjoy your meal safely.
Exactly.
Now, let's say you want to see some of the sights.
Sightseeing.
Yes. How do you ask for directions?
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to? And then the name of the attraction.
That's so...
And you can also ask for recommendations. What are some must-see attractions in this area?
Oh, that's a good one. And what about for getting around on buses and trains?
Good question. Before you hop on, just double check with the driver or someone, does this bus go to, and your destination.
Okay, makes sense.
And when you want to get off, just a clear, excuse me, this is my stop.
All these little phrases really add up.
They do. They make all the difference.
You know, sometimes it's those unexpected conversations that make a trip truly memorable.
Absolutely. connecting with people.
Exactly. So let's talk about those. Yeah. How do you strike up a conversation with locals or even other travelers?
Start with a simple greeting. Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Huh.
And then you could ask something like, are you enjoying your trip? Or what brings you to? And then the city or country.
It's those little things that break the ice.
They do. And if you need someone to repeat something, don't be afraid to say, excuse me, could you repeat that? Or, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Better to ask than to pretend you get it.
Exactly. Now let's move on to something fun. Shopping for souvenirs.
Ooh, yes. Everyone loves a good souvenir.
When you enter a shop, start with a friendly hello or good morning, just to acknowledge the staff.
And if you're looking for something specific,
You could ask, do you sell, and whatever you're after, or where can I find, and the item.
okay. And when it comes to the price,
Point to it and ask, how much is this? Or what's the price of this?
easy peasy. What about haggling? Is that okay everywhere?
That's tricky. It really depends on the culture. In some places, it's expected. In others, it can be rude.
Oh,
Best to observe what others are doing and err on the side of politeness.
good advice. Okay, we've covered a lot, from restaurants to transportation, shopping. But what about if something goes wrong?
Uh-oh.
Like, what if you lose your passport?
Oh, no. First, don't panic.
Right.
Take a deep breath and then go to the hotel staff and calmly explain, excuse me, I have a problem. I think I've lost my passport.
Okay, and then?
Tell them where you last saw it, I last saw it at, and the location, around, and the time.
Uh,
And give any important details. It's A, and the color, passport with my photo and name on it.
and if you need to file a police report,
You can ask the hotel staff for help. Could you help me contact the police? Or where's the nearest police station?
it sounds scary, but staying calm and explaining clearly is key.
Absolutely. And you know, most people are willing to help if you're in trouble.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground today, from basic greetings to handling emergencies.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. But I think the key takeaway is, even with a few simple phrases, you can feel confident exploring the world.
I agree. And remember, communicating is about connection, not perfection.
That's a great point. So don't be afraid to try. All right, we'll be back in a bit to wrap things up. You know, thinking about all these phrases and scenarios we've talked about,
Yeah.
it really makes you realize how much easier it can be
Oh, for sure.
to just get out there and explore,
Absolutely, when you have those tools.
even if you don't speak the language perfectly.
Right. It's about that effort
It's about trying.
and that confidence it gives you.
So what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's nervous about those language barriers?
I'd say embrace the challenge. Don't let that fear hold you back from experiencing new things.
Oh, I like that. Embrace the challenge.
Remember, most people are kind. They appreciate you trying.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah,
let's quickly recap some of the key things we've covered.
let's do it.
All right, so we started with the basics, getting to the hotel, the airport.
Right. Those essential first steps.
Then we moved on to food, ordering, dealing with those dietary needs,
All those delicious situations.
and of course, how to get around, asking for directions, using public transport,
We even tackled shopping.
and what to do if things go wrong, like losing your passport.
Those unexpected moments.
But the main takeaway here is that even with a few simple phrases, you can navigate a lot of situations.
Absolutely. And the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become.
Exactly. So to all our listeners out there, we challenge you.
Yes, challenge.
Take these phrases, practice, and go explore the world.
Don't let language be a barrier to adventure.
That's it for this deep dive into practical English for travelers. We hope you feel inspired and ready to embark on your next adventure.